turns out Ro Khanna trying to pressure the RFK campaign. So Ro Khanna's part of the sergeant at arms, I guess. The so quote unquote progressives are trying to get somebody to drop out of a democracy. So let's get to that. Where do I have it? Ro Khanna tries to pressure RFK Jr.'s VP pick to drop out. Let's get right to this story. I know I'm going through right to the next subject, but trying to get through this quickly.
Just in tonight, a surreal story from the world of politics. The running mate for RFK Jr. is publicly revealing that she received a letter from Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna. Nicole Shanahan says that Khanna is asking her to step down from the ticket because his candidacy hurts President Biden's chances. Shanahan says, in part, Ro encouraged me to run, that it's wrong for anyone to threaten me against running. She goes on to say, clearly Ro has changed his stance based on pressure from his party, that it's anti-democratic. I'm very disappointed that he has been pressured into issuing this letter to me publicly. He could have called me privately. Now, the congressman is here with us tonight, and he joins me to respond in a moment. But first, remember, a campaign official for RFK said that her number...
Yeah, he could have, because he knows that he could have just called her. But he won't get credit. And teachers' pets always wants credit. And that's who Ro Khanna is. He's a teacher's pet of the Democratic establishment. He always wants to come out and be Captain Save a Biden or Captain Save a Pelosi or Captain Saving fill-in establishment Democrat. That's the role he plays. And he's doing it right here too. Because you could have called, hey, why don't you drop out? Come on, man. Let me send you a letter so I can come on CNN and get some kudos by my Democratic establishment. They say I did a good thing.
One priority is to prevent Biden from winning. And tonight, CNN's K-File reports that Rita Palmer attended a Stop the Steal rally, including the rally that preceded the Capitol insurrection. She also has posted praise for Trump, including the hope that he wins in 2024 and that he's her favorite president, she says. Congressman Ro Khanna joins me now.
This is so, as they would say in the South, messy. This is so messy what she's trying to create here. Because actually, let me let him. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me let him. Actually, I could say this part. It was ahead of myself because they actually haven't played the video of the lady. One, this is just a random lady who was at a local support thing for RFK. Local lady, nothing part of the campaign structure, nothing like that. Just a local supporter at an event. And she's saying some things because she is a Trump supporter who supports RFK. And your point is what? And they're trying to make that seem like, see, that's what RFK's goal is. One, that's not the truth. And two, even if it's just the truth, and what is your point? The goal of everybody doesn't want Donald Trump elected is not everybody's goal. Abby Phillips.
Congressman, we have this letter. We just received it that you sent to Nicole Shanahan. What did you say to her?
Well, look, I've known Nicole Shanahan for years. She's been a supporter. I would say she's an acquaintance. And we've shared common issues around the climate, common issues around reproductive rights. And when she called me to say that she was going to join Robert Kennedy's ticket, I said, well, Nicole, why don't you join the Democratic coalition, support President Biden? He will better advance climate. I understand you have disagreements with the president. I do too on certain issues like Gaza, but join the coalition. And then I texted her that, always respectfully, but I was hoping to make the case that her issues would be better served joining the coalition. So
she says that you changed your position, that you actually told her that anyone should run and shouldn't be threatened for doing so. She posted this exchange on X, and then you responded to her with a text that you sent her afterwards. What's your response to her claiming that you're not telling the truth?
It's right there. What are you talking about? It's right there.
Well, I don't think she's saying that. I did say that anyone has the right.
It's right there. You showed the proof, Abby. What do you mean? Were you asking the question when he's just been? The proof is in front. You brought the proof up. You brought the exhibit
And
up.
that no one should threaten her or no one should engage in character assassination of her. And I stand by that. And even in the text I sent her, I said, look, she has absolutely the right to run. And I will never disparage her personally. But I will make the case, I'm making the case tonight, that given the stakes, given her own view in regenerative agriculture, on climate, on reproductive rights, how could she aid candidacy that's simply going to help reelect Donald Trump? And I want to make the case for her that she'd be better served supporting Joe Biden.
So by all of this, are you saying that you are worried that an RFK candidacy will end up costing President Biden the election?
I think the president can win regardless, but will it make it harder for the president? Absolutely. I mean, I don't think that is revealing any unique math. I mean, the reality is that any third-party candidates help Donald Trump because he cannot get to 50%. And so if we lower the ceiling of what he needs to get, it makes it harder for the president to win. Do I think the president can overcome that? We can overcome that and win? Yes. But why diminish the odds and help tilt any advantage to Donald Trump?
Do you think that Nicole Shanahan is aware of what you are saying there, that this could end up resulting in a Trump presidency yet again?
Like, she's aware. They keep thinking that everybody's on this team to make sure Trump doesn't get elected. Everybody's not on this parade. That's what they think. Like it's an obvious thing. That's you guys. That's your guys' plan.
I don't know. I'd love to have that conversation with her publicly, maybe on your show. I mean, the reality is she's been extraordinary in funding regenerative agriculture in places like Iowa State. She has worked.
She's a donor.
Big climate issues.
So this is a donor friend of his, because remember, she was a Democratic donor. So, and he says an acquaintance. That means that's his friend. So he's like, why didn't you just call me, bro?
I was perplexed, baffled why she would choose to enter at this time, given the stakes that it's a binary choice. Ordinarily, I understand you want to get your views out, you want to push for reform.
When is ordinarily, if every election is the most important election of our time? When is normal time? That's what we keep asking. When is not the most important election where we can just pick who we want? When does that come? Seems to be never.
I hope she understands that what she is doing really could put Trump back in the White House and undermine the goals that she believes in.
I mentioned in tonight's reporting that the New York-based RFK Jr. campaign official, she previously promoted these false claims that the 2020 election was rigged, and she actually attended the January 6th rally. What's your reaction to that?
Reaction to somebody who supported Trump, who now supports RFK, the reaction should be, that's democracy. That should be the answer.
Well, it's appalling. Look, I used to admire Robert Kennedy's environmental activism, and I just don't understand what he's doing. I mean, denying that January 6th, that the people who beat police officers vandalized the building and were attacking colleagues of mine while I was in the complex, that is somehow just a form of protest, which is what he has said, and people shouldn't be prosecuted. And then being more to the right, but way more to the right than either Donald Trump or Joe Biden on unconditional support for Netanyahu. I mean, I just don't understand what he's trying to achieve.
Very interesting indeed, Congressman Khanna. Yeah,
that was a setup. The letter was a setup. Hey, I'm going to send this letter to her. Can you bring me on the show so I can talk about it? They're doing everything. They're throwing everything. They're throwing the kitchen sink because nothing's working. So they're just saying, throw shit up, man. Throw everything. We don't care what it is. Throw everything.